Okay, guys. Welcome back from the break. Now, we are going to look at motivation theories. Motivation theories. It's important. Managers and CEOs or employers look at motivation theories well, so that at least they can get some information as to how to motivate their workers. Like I said, if you want workers to work effectively, one of the ways or one of the things that you can do is to motivate your workers. Of course, maybe there can be other ways, but for me, as a business person, as an entrepreneur, as a business teacher, as whatever, what I know is that motivation is key. And we saw the statistics, right? Workers are just not happy. In majority, you understand? Majority of workers are not happy. I mean, of course, there can be other, but major reason is low morale, which is motivation, of course. So I wasn't surprised when recently a lot of workers, nurses, teachers went to Kutuka airport trying to, go and find some greener pasture somewhere. Meanwhile, the greener pasture is here. Of course, I mean, you can't fault anyone. I've also traveled before. I know how it is. So workers are running away. They are just not happy. Like we saw, 45% of Ghanaian workers, and they don't even know whether next 6 months, whether they should, still be at their current work. People just want to move on. Goes beyond just the employer motivation, right? And intrinsic is within. That one, the employer has nothing to do with it. You yourself. One of the things that I did not do much when I was in the classroom, you need to look at, Subguru will call it inner engineering. Look within what makes you happy. It's so important. Okay, let's move on. So we are looking at content theories of motivation. So we are going to look at, of course, there are about a lot, almost 7, but we will look at just these few. So Taylor is one of the people who wrote about motivation. Taylor in scientific management. We have Maslow and the hierarchy of human needs. We have MAYO, the human relation theories. Of course, we have HERZBEG and the two-factor theory. Okay. Now, so what are motivation theories? So motivation theories explore the forces that drive people. So we are saying that motivation is what internal and external factors, right? That stimulate people. But what can we know whatever that stimulate them? So the motivation theories, they have sat down. Do you understand? They have sat down to what do research, thorough research about motivation. So it's important we look at this. Now, so theories exploit the forces that drive people to work towards a particular outcome. These frameworks can help leaders who want to foster a productive environment. So you see, if you want to foster a productive environment as a leader, then you need to understand the psychology behind human motivation. As simple as that. So if you want to be successful in your business, of course, you need to motivate your workers. And one of the things that you can do is to study motivation theories. It's so important. Okay, so let's start with HERZBEG. So what did HERZBEG write about? So HERZBEG's two-factor theory is a motivation theory that suggests that satisfaction and dissatisfaction at work are influenced by two sets of factors. So we just spoke about satisfaction and dissatisfaction. You see, and HERZBEG has sat down to write something about that. So HERZBEG is saying that this satisfaction and dissatisfaction that we look at in terms of the statistics, figures or whatever, it is influenced by two sets of factors, hygiene factors and motivators. So if you don't know the reason why your workers are not happy, they are not giving their best, just look at HERZBEG is telling you that it is due to what? Hygiene factors and motivators. As simple as that. Okay, now hygiene factors are basic job necessities. So what are hygiene factors? Basic things that the employee is supposed to have. Maybe it's not there. So example is what? Conditions and salary, working conditions. What kind of conditions your workers are working under? Salaries, what kind of salary do you give to your workers? The work itself. policy, company policy. So all these things must be, HERZBERG is saying that they are under hygiene factors and they should be there. So HERZBERG moves on to say that such as working conditions and salary that if not met can cause dissatisfaction. So HERZBERG is saying that if these things are not there, it can lead to dissatisfaction. Basic things that HERZBERG is advising all of us that it has to be there. Okay. Now the second one is motivators. So HERZBERG is saying that apart from the hygiene factors, there should be what we call motivators, and the motivators are achievement, recognition, personal growth, and promotion, which can lead to what? Job satisfaction. So as simple. So you see, motivators, do we see any money there? No. So if you're an employer or manager and you are not doing some of these things, your workers can be demotivated. It's important we look at all that. Okay. Right, let's look at Taylor. What Taylor also wrote. Now, Taylor's approach, economic man, select the right people. So Taylor came out with an idea called economic man. Select the right people for the work, observe and record the performance, establish the best method of doing a job. So Taylor basically was talking about money. Taylor is saying that economic man, yes, give the person money. Once you give the person money, the person will work. So Taylor was in US, right? Of course, all of them were in US, but he did his research in the factory. Do you understand? And a lot of companies in the US adopted Taylor's, and it increased productivity. Give the person money, the person will give you the results. Do you understand? That's also basically Taylor did his research on money. Of course, money is not the only motivator. Of course, we've talked about that. Because HERZBERG talk about other things. But Taylor, his approach was on money. So I'm not surprised later MASLOW came and also brought this, because Taylor was really putting emphasis too much on money. Meanwhile, that's not the only motivator. Okay. So yes. So that's Taylor's own. Taylor is saying that select the right people for the work, observe and record the performance, establish the best method of doing it, then just give the person money so that the person will be motivated. Okay, so let's see the last one, Abraham Maslow. This is very popular. Abraham Maslow. So what did Maslow say about motivation? So Maslow is saying that for him, workers or an individual will be motivated by this hierarchy. So he started from the bottom and he classified them as physiological needs. So Maslow is saying that for a worker to be motivated, there are basic things that worker must have, like what Taylor was calling hygiene factors. So Maslow also put this as well, physiological needs. So he mentioned physiological needs as air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, reproduction. So Taylor is saying that when you employ someone, the person will be first motivated by these things. So these things must be there. Now, as time moves on, Maslow is saying that the person's interest will move from physiological needs. So note that the worker will not only be motivated by physiological needs forever, but initially this is what is going to motivate the person. Then the person will now be motivated by safety needs. So I remember here when after university and I was employed as a business studies teacher, yes, I was happy when I received my first salary and whatever, the joy, the whatever. But as time moves on and realized I was looking for something different. Is that okay? So you now look at safety needs. So safety needs talk about personal security, employee. So you now look at whether you have job security, whether you will not be sacked from your work or whatever. So that is what is going to motivate you the next, or health issues. Do you understand? Then after some time, still the person will move on to love and belonging. So friendship, intimacy, family, sense of connection. So now you feel like you want to belong. Do you understand? You want to work in an environment where there are other people that you can mingle. So this is also very, very motivating factor. Then from there you move on to esteem. So now you want people to respect you, self-esteem, status, recognition. Now you want people to recognize you, especially if you are you become a HOD or manager or whatever. Then you feel that now you move ahead, so you want people to give you some recognition, some respect, or some freedom. Then of course, the last one, which is self-actualization, desire to become the most that one can be. So Taylor is saying that when you get to self-actualization, it means that the goal that you set for yourself, maybe you have achieved it. So then you'll be motivated by that. So if you set goal that you wanted to be CEO, you wanted to be president, you wanted to be MP, you wanted to be this, you wanted to be business owner, whatever, and you've achieved it, then that's what you call self-actualization. So this is what Maslow. So as managers, you see, motivation theories are very, very important. We need to take, yes, I know people mostly look at Abraham Maslow's own, but they're all important, like Taylor and HERZBEG. So at least these three are motivation theories that as business people, we need to study them well. Okay. All right. So we go for the second break. When we come back, then we look at practically. Now we have looked at how workers can be motivated by looking at these theories and stuff. But now practically, how can we motivate workers? We'll be right back.